Good morning, students. Welcome to the virtual classrooms. We are studying related to the molecular orbital theory. In the last lecture, we have studied it. What is a molecular orbital theory? What are its features and what are the conditions, how these orbitals are combining together. Even we saw the generalized diagram, but still when we saw the energy sequence, we were getting some confusions. Hope so. Those students who have understood it's a very good, right? Those students who are having it as in certain confusions, don't bother for it. We will understand it when we will be going through certain molecular orbitals. But while going it for the molecular orbitals, first of all, see, we are not having one or two such type of molecular orbitals to be drawn, or we are not simply going to draw the orbitals. Additional to orbitals, we want to write from the atomic molecular orbitals, we are going to write its electronic configuration, we are going to write its bond order, we are going to understand its magnetic properties, right? So from the same diagram we want to write all those things, right? So in that case, first of all we will understand that what are the factors, how to calculate them, and then we will draw the diagrams, right? Okay, now for that case, for the MO diagrams, actually I'm just making it as a list of the diagrams that we will be coming across. We will have to study it as an H2, H2 plus, H2 minus, He2, He2 plus. These are the homodiatomic nucleus, right? Homodiatomic molecules. They are having it as in two hydrogens or two heliums, both of them, and diatomic. We will be having all of them as in diatomic molecules only, right? No, but these are the five which is having only one s orbital in them. We will be having it as an only one s orbital for them. For Li2, Be2, B2, B2. These are the two we will be having it as in for 1s as well as 2s. This is only for 1s orbital. This is for 1s, 2s orbital. Now we will be having it as in 1s, 2s, 2p orbitals, where we will be having it as in p1, p2, p3, up to that. In the energy sequence, when we were writing it, energy sequence, we wrote it. So that p1, p2 or p3 electrons, when it is possible in an electronic configuration, if we are having it as an b2, c2, n2, n2 plus, n2 minus, n2 plus 2, n2 minus 2. For this, we will be having it as in all of them with, we will all having it as in one electron. See, 2p1, 2p2, 2p3, right? Their electronic configuration. So p is there within 1, 2 or 3. When you are having it as in p4, p5 or p6, then in that case the atoms you will be having it as an O2, O2 plus, O2 plus 2, O2 minus, O2 minus 2, F2, Ne2, right? For this oxygen, the atomic configuration, we will be writing it as 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So that means you got the pairing of electrons started. So 2p4, 2p5, 2p6, right? So we will be having it this many components to be studied, right? I'm not going to draw all the diagrams. I'm going to help you to understand one as a molecule, one as an ion. Then we'll draw it one diagram of Li2. We'll draw it as one diagram of N2. We'll draw it one diagram of N2 minus, O2, Ne2, and we'll take it as one of the plus also. O2 plus 2, right? 2 plus 3, 5 plus 3, 8. We will see the 8 different diagrams, right? Rest of them you will be having it as the same things to be done, only the plus minus of the electrons will be there. Orbitals are, the energy sequence for this is going to remain same. Generalized diagram we have already drawn. For this also we have drawn the generalized diagram. Whatever the changes are there in this two, we will see them and we'll try to understand them so that we can do it very easily, right? Okay, but at the same time, once we draw the diagram, we will also have to understand, or we will have to also calculate certain things. We will be having it as the things to calculate: electronic configuration. That we will be writing it as sigma 1s, sigma star 1s, sigma 2s, sigma star 2s, right? That is an energy sequence that we wrote it. That will help me, or even we will understand it with the help of diagram. The second is, we want to calculate bond order. Now bond order is given out with the formula of 1 by 2 electrons in bonding molecular orbital minus electrons in antibonding molecular orbital, right? It is written as NB minus Na, bonding molecular orbital minus antibonding molecular orbital containing electrons divided by 2. And the third character that we will be understanding, it is a magnetic properties. Now magnetic properties can be of only two: paramagnetic and diamagnetic. When you are having it as a compound with an unpaired electrons present in them. Unpaired electrons means you are having it as a single electron, plus half or minus half, any of it, even a single electron remaining as an unpaired, we will consider it as paramagnetic in nature. If you are having it as an all the electrons as paired, we know that we term them as an diamagnetic. So we will have to find out whether they are diamagnetic or they are paramagnetic. By drawing it, we will try to understand those things. So these are the three things that we will be calculating it for any diagram, right? So we know it that which one we want to do it is, I will just put it as a note: H2, H2 minus, Li2, N2, N2 minus, O2, O2 plus 2, and Ne2, right? Okay, the rest of it you will have to practice it by yourself and draw the diagrams, right? No doubt, wherever you are having a problem, wherever you are having it and difficulty to understand or to draw, you can give me a call. I will help you wherever you will be having a problem, right? It's not like that it's given to you, but you will come to know it that once we will be drawing, even you will get it tired while I will be doing it, all these diagrams. You will say, sir, let's do it by ourselves. We'll do it, right? Once you understand, it isn't much easier. We are having it as the first one, H2. Now H2 means we are having it as an atomic orbital of hydrogen, atomic orbital of hydrogen. So you will get it as molecular orbital of H2. You will get it as a molecular orbital of H2. Now hydrogen is having 1s, 1 as an electronic configuration at the same energy level, 1s1. So one with a lower energy, one with a higher energy. The atomic orbitals will be formed, BMO. This one will be ABMO, right? This we know it that it's a sigma 1s. This one will be sigma star 1s. This is the general diagram that we have drawn it. Okay, now hydrogen has only one electron. The another hydrogen is also having one electron. So total we are now having it as in 2 electrons because of 2 hydrogen atoms. According to the Aufbau principle, electron first of all enters in the lowermost energy level. According to the Pauli's principle, it can hold 2 electrons. So both these electrons in the molecular orbital, we are getting it over here. So as an electronic configuration, we will get it as sigma 1s2. Sigma star is an empty. We are having only 2 electrons and both the electrons are filled over here. Now once we get it is, we go for the bond order 1 by 2 Nb minus Na. So that means we will be getting it as in 2 electrons in bonding molecular orbital, 0 in anti-bonding. So that means we will have a bond order 1. Right? We got it as in bond order 1. And magnetic property. Now when we are talking about the magnetic property, we are not going it for the atomic orbital, we are going it for molecular orbital. So you will have to see the electronic configuration for the molecular orbital. Is there any unpaired electron present in the molecular orbital or not? Don't see it for the atomic orbitals. Right? For atomic orbitals you are having unpaired, but we are not writing it as an those things. We will be seeing it as an molecular orbital. And this molecular orbital shows that both these electrons are paired. So it's a diamagnetic in nature. Electrons are paired, so it is a diamagnetic in nature. Right? Now this was for H2. Let's think it for H2 minus. So what I will do it is, I'm not going to draw it again. H2 minus. That means you will be having it as an atomic orbital of hydrogen. You should get it as an atomic orbital of hydrogen minus, so that you get it as an molecular orbital of H2 minus. H minus, so it will become together H2 minus. Right? Now H means 1s1. H minus means it has already gained 1 electron from somewhere. So it will become H2 minus. 1 electron is additionally from the outer. If it is H2 plus, that means plus electron won't be there. It has donated electron. Minus means it has gained electron. So now how many electrons we are having it? 3. So 1, 2 and the 1 electron will get it over here. So that means the electronic configuration we are going to get it as sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s1. Sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s1. So bond order now this time we are going to get it as a 0.5. We will be getting the bond order as 0.5. Right? So what does it shows? The given compound is para because of unpaired electron present in it. Because of the unpaired electron present in it, we are going to get it as an paramagnetic in nature. Right? So that is for second. Now I will have to do it with another diagram, because I am now going to get it as 1s and 2s both. Third diagram, Li2. That means we will be having it as an atomic orbital of Li, atomic orbital of Li, molecular orbital of Li2. So we will be getting it as 1s. We are having it as a configuration as 1s2, 2s1. That is the electronic configuration of atomic orbitals. That is the electronic configuration of atomic orbitals. 1s2, 2s1. So we get it as total how many? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was sigma 1s. This was sigma star 1s. This was sigma 2s. This is bonding molecular orbital. This was anti-bonding molecular orbital. Again this is bonding molecular orbital. This one will become as anti-bonding molecular orbital. Right? So what is the electronic configuration we are going to get it? Sigma 1s has 2 electrons. Sigma star 1s has 2 electrons. Sigma 2s has 2 electrons. bond order 1 by 2 Nb minus Na, that means we will be getting it as 4 minus 2, that is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 bonding molecular orbitals, 2 anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So 1 by 2, 4 minus 2, we'll get it as 1. And magnetic property, we are going to get it as all the electrons are paired, so it's a right. Okay, for beryllium, if I want to draw it, what I will have to do it is 2, 1s2, 2s2, 2 more electrons, 0 bond order, right? So only the thing is electrons will be kept on adding it. Up to this we don't have any hesitations, we can draw it very easily. The problem arises when we are going for this. First of all, we'll do it for N2. See, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3, that is the configuration for nitrogen atom. You are having up to 3, that means all the 3 electrons which are present over there are unpaired. And that's the reason why you will have a difference in the diagram. The diagram you will be having it. This we will consider it as atomic orbital of N, atomic orbital of N. So you will get this as a molecular orbital of N2. Okay, atomic orbital of N, atomic orbital of N, we will get it as an atomic orbital of N2. Now, taking this as 1s, we will be having it as, for both of them as seen, BMO, EBMO. This is every time you will have to write it. Sometimes I may not write it, but in the exam you will be having only one specific diagram to do it. So in that case, don't forget it. You will have to indicate each and everything. When you are doing it as in practice, you are doing number of them, but in exam you will be having only one. So each of them you will have to show it. This one is sigma 1s, sigma star 1s. Then you are having it as in 2s, one with a lower energy, one with a higher energy. This is bonding molecular orbital, anti-bonding molecular orbital, sigma 2s, sigma star 2s. Then you will be having it as an P, 2px, 2py, 2pz. Again, while I gave you a generalized diagram, I told you that orbital should be appropriately written, right? You are having it now 3 unpaired electrons, so you will be getting it as in the orbitals to be written in this format. Your orbitals has been in this format, right? Okay, now as for the configuration, 2, 2, 1 each. So configuration, we will write it over here also, 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz. Similarly, here also we will be having it as a configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. Total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 electrons are there. So now in the molecular orbital, right from the lower energy, I will have to put it 14 electrons. Now if I go on writing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because Hund's rule says that if the electrons are there with a equal energy orbitals, they should enter with a parallel spin. So this one will become 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. Then pairing take place. 13, 14. This one was your pi 2px, pi 2py, sigma 2pz. This one was your pi star 2px. This one is your pi star 2py, sigma star 2pz. you are having them as bonding molecular orbital. These are your anti-bonding molecular orbital. All these things you will have to write it, right? Now I want to calculate the configuration of N2. Now if I want to write the configuration of N2, what will happen? I will erase it. For electronic configuration, you will get it as sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, right? Sigma 1s2, sigma star, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2. Now you are having it as an pi 2p x2 equals to pi 2p by 2 sigma 2p z2. This is what the sequence that we want to maintain, the energy sequence, right? That will be different for N2 and O2 when you are having it as an up to 3 electrons and more than 3 electrons, right? When we go it for bond order, 1 by 2 Nb minus Na. So what you will get it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 are there in the bonding molecular orbital. Anti-bonding 2, 4. So you will get it as bond order 3 and triple bonded end. Bond order is 3 and the magnetic property we are going to get it as an all the electrons are paired, no unpaired electrons. So it is a diamagnetic in nature, right? Like hydrogen, I won't do it again. See the diagram once it is plotted, generalized diagram, if you can do it, it becomes much easier. When I am putting N2 minus, so 1 will become minus, so that it will become minus. So that is one additional electron. One additional means 15. So one electron will enter over here. That's what the change in the diagram, right? One electron entered over there. So configuration now you will have to put it over here. Pi 2px, pi star 2px1 equals to pi star 2p by 0. This when you are having the same energy for the pi orbitals, you will have to show it together. If no electrons are there, we'll put it 0, but it is necessary that it should be shown. For the separate orbitals, we are not writing it, right? Now you are having it as an anti-bonding 5. So bond order changes to 2.5 and your magnetic property is going to become paramagnetic because it contains one unpaired electron in it. Okay, see, plus sign will reduce one electron. Two plus signs will reduce one electron from one, another electron from another, right? You wrote it as an 1 as an N2 plus 2. So what you have to do it is N plus. So it will become N2 plus. So from this, if I reduce one electron, I will reduce one electron from here. They are having it as an total 12 electrons. So we will be having it as an 6 plus 6, 12. So that means we won't have any electron to show it for this. Your configuration will complete it over here itself, right? The bond order you will be getting it as 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4. So your bond order will become 2 and this one will become diamagnetic. So N2 plus 2. So it's a very simple. But the diagram has not to be, no doubt, when you are practicing it, make it sure that you draw the diagrams, each and every diagrams, so that you can do it very easily or you can remember what is a generalized diagram. Right? Don't do it like sir what you did it. Rub it, write it, because you will be having it as a thing to revise it again and again, right? Okay, now in place of that I want to go it for O2. So what we'll be doing it in the O2, what is the change that we'll be getting it for the O2? we are having it as an oxygen with an electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So pairing of electron has already been started. Now in that case, atomic orbital of oxygen, atomic orbital of oxygen. So you got it as molecular orbital of O2, 1s, 2s, 2px, 2py, 2pz. According to the configuration of oxygen, 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py1, 2pz1. Over here. Now, this diagram has to be very carefully drawn. What we did it in the previous diagram was 2 and 1. In this diagram, because the pairing of electron has started, the energy sequence has changed. Sigma orbital is filled up first. Then your pi orbitals. First of all, in the previous example, what we did it was up to P1, P2 or P3, pi was filled up first and then sigma. In this, sigma will be filled up first, then pi, when you get it as P4, P5 or P6. But its higher energy sequence remains same. Pi to Px, pi to Py, sigma to Pz. That won't change. Whatever the change you are getting, it is over here only. Only in the bonding molecular orbital. Right? Sigma 1s, sigma star 1s, sigma 2s, sigma star 2s. These are bonding, these are anti-bonding, bonding, anti-bonding. These are bonding, these are anti-bonding. So what you will get it now? Electronic configuration, I want to write it. I am having it as an 8 plus 8, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Same energy level. 13, 14, 15, 16. Right? Be careful. Same energy, fill it separately. So electronic configuration, this time you got it as 1s2, sigma star 1s2. Sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2. Then you are getting it as a sigma 2pz2, pi 2px2 equals to pi 2py2. Then you are getting it as an pi star 2px1 equals to pi star 2py1. This is what the configuration you are getting it. Bond order, you will be getting it as an Nb minus Na, that is 1 by 2. Bonding, you are having it as an 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 4, 6. Right? So that means you are going to get it as an bond order 2. And magnetic property, we are going to get it as because of these two unpaired electrons, we are going to get the property as paramagnetic in nature. Okay. Now this was for O2. O2 plus 2. O2 plus 2 means you are having it as in 2 electrons. So this one will become plus, this one will become plus, right? Plus means you will reduce the 1 electron over here, right? So what happened? We got it as in all the 3 unpaired electrons. So what will happen? This sequential order will be changed. You will get it over here in place of this. The sequential order of this will change as 2, 1, which will come out as previous diagram, as the previous nitrogen diagram. It becomes same as nitrogen. So this electrons won't be there for you. Right? you will get it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the electronic configuration that you will get it. So that means while writing the electronic configuration, again I will have to be careful that sigma goes after the pi, sigma 2pz2. From here this orbital entered over there. Again this one will become 4, 3, and this one will become that. So that is only the changes that will happen in the diagram when you will be drawing it. Okay, hope so you can do it. It's clear to everyone how to draw the diagrams. You can do those type of diagrams for yourself, right? Okay, a few minutes we'll take it as a last topic, right? And the last topic of the chapter, that is hydrogen bonding. I want to complete it. It's around about 5 minutes time, so I'm elaborating my lecture and completing it. Within the 5 minutes we'll be able to complete hydrogen also. Hydrogen bonding, it's a small topic, right? What is that hydrogen bonding? The bond that is formed between the highly electronegative atom and highly electropositive hydrogen atom, right? A bond, a force of attraction generated between highly electropositive hydrogen atom and highly electronegative atom containing lone pair of electrons. See, for positive I already specified that it's an hydrogen, but for negative we are having it as a more than that, NOF. 3 of them can form this type of hydrogen bonding. This is because when hydrogen and nitrogen are bonded with one another, NH, if I am putting it as an NH3, what happens? This is more electronegative, this is more electropositive, so electron is more shifted towards it, so it becomes positively charged, right? So this will try to neutralize itself. To neutralize itself, what it will do? It will go to the another NH3 molecule which is present with a lone pair on it. It will try to attract that lone pair. When this type of force of attraction is created by the hydrogen atom, positively charged hydrogen atom, and negatively charged NO or F, any of them which contains a lone pair of an electron, then this type of force of attraction is considered to be as an hydrogen bond. So it is written as a force of attraction generated between the highly electropositive hydrogen atom, that is fixed, and highly electronegative atom containing lone pair of an electron, that is NOF. Then that force of attraction or that type of bond formed between them is known as hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bond, H bond, is always shown by dotted line. It's always shown by dotted line, right? But these type of hydrogen bonds are of 2 types. Hydrogen bonds, we can have it as in 2 types. Here I plotted it between 2 atoms, 2 different molecules. 2 different molecules. Within a molecule also that can be possible, but it should contain such type of atoms in it or functional groups present in it. So hydrogen bond, we are having it as in of 2 types. First one, inter. And the second one is See what is the difference that I wrote it. Only spelling error. ER, RA. Inter, intra. When you are having it as a hydrogen bond formed between two different molecules. Hydrogen bond between two molecules. We consider it as intramolecular hydrogen bond. When your hydrogen bond is there within the molecule, it is considered as an intermolecular hydrogen bond. Let's see both the types of the structures. Intermolecular hydrogen bond. We'll take it as an example of phenol. It's getting bonded. Now, oxygen hydrogen is there. This is negative, this is positive. They contain lone pair of electron. The force of attraction is generated between the two atoms, highly electropositive and highly electronegative oxygen. This type of compound can be elaborated as many as the number of molecules are there. This will continue. So this is known as intermolecular hydrogen bond. Right? Why? Why I am having it as an intramolecular? Then at that time, the example I am putting it as orthonitrophenol. What will happen in this compound? Just elaborating the diagram, expanding it. Oxygen is bonded with hydrogen, nitrogen is bonded with it. It also contains one lone pair. This one will try to attract that lone pair. So this bond is there within the molecule, within itself, and as a result it is considered as intramolecular hydrogen bond. Intramolecular hydrogen bonds are weaker than intermolecular hydrogen bond. Inter are stronger than this sequence is for strength of bond. Inter is stronger than intra. So melting point, boiling point of the intermolecular compounds will be always higher than intramolecular bonds. Right? So whenever you have been asked, write a short note on hydrogen bond. What you will have to do it is, you will have to show it, first of all, what is hydrogen bond, which atoms can go for it, what is a type of hydrogen bonds, and example of hydrogen bond. Other than that, one specific give reason, that is orthonitrophenol has lower boiling point than paranitrophenol. Particularly many times this give reason has been asked. Orthonitrophenol means this is orthonitrophenol. When I write it as an paranitrophenol means I will get it here, NO2. Now these two atoms cannot attract each other. So they always go it for intermolecular hydrogen. This always goes for intramolecular hydrogen bond. And we know that inter are stronger than intra. So boiling point of paranitrophenol will be always higher than that of the orthonitrophenol. Okay? Is it clear? So like that, many other examples can be there. So you can revise it from your textbook. And this is the end of our topic. Not only the topic, but we have already completed the chapter 4 for this. From our next lecture, we will be going with a new chapter, that is gaseous states. Okay, till then, thank you.